Yo, what's going on, everybody? It's your boy Naruto Explain here, bringing you guys another Boruto 2 Blue Vortex discussion. And now that the first chapter of the Boruto time skip is done in the books, we got a lot to talk about, including the biggest elephant in the room right now, which is not Boruto stepping on Code's face and adding to the long list of L's that Code has taken in the franchise, but instead we have to discuss why it is that Kakashi never returned as Hokage following the events of Boruto chapter 80 and the 3 years between Boruto chapter 81 and the events of Boruto 2 Blue Vortex chapter 1. Now, you guys know from the video I did called Boruto's next Hokage after Naruto is a bombshell we didn't expect, which, side note, I know that my YouTube titles are about as good as Minato's jutsu names. I'm working on it, where I laid out who I believe would be the characters most likely to be the Hokage. And while I did say that Shikamaru was a strong possibility, I placed all my bets on it being Kakashi returning as Hokage. Similar to how Hirose and Sarutobi stepped back into the Hokage position after Minato chose death over living another day without Kushina's Uzumaki Wapi Wapi and her using those chakra chains for something other than sealing jutsu. However, while I did feel super confident in that prediction, Boruto threw us all for a loop by switching it up and making Shikamaru the 8th Hokage, which means that if we'd have been in a casino and I was at the betting table, I would have lost everything because I clearly was betting the house on Kakashi returning as Hokage. Between there not being a new face on the Hokage monument and Ikimoto telling us years ago that Kakashi had a major role to play in Boruto's story, but that it'd be a spoiler if he revealed it, I thought the tease was there, and just going off of that promise alone, I made the prediction. However, what exactly happened? Why were we thrown for a loop here by Kishimoto with the script of the new Boruto chapter? Well, crazy as it might sound to some of you guys, particularly those of you who swear up and down that Boruto has no connection to Naruto's manga, we actually have the reason for why Kakashi cannot be Hokage again, and it comes down to Naruto's manga. So if we hop in our handy dandy time machines and we rewind back all the way to 2014 when Naruto chapter 699 came out and Kakashi used his authority as Hokage to get Sasuke pardoned and released from spending a lifetime in prison, we know based off of the light novel set between chapter 699 and chapter 700 that Kakashi used up nearly all of his political capital as the 6th Hokage and even needed Naruto to beg for Sasuke's release, and it was done conditionally. Sasuke would forever remain free, traveling while on the discretion of the sitting Hokage, something that Sasuke Shinen, the teacher's star pupil, hammers home in the prologue for that story. There are still those from Naruto's generation and the older generation who do not forgive Sasuke for what he did by allying with the Akatsuki and killing the acting 6th Hokage Danzo before he could officially be named the Hokage via ceremony following the Jonin Council's formality vote. If you recall, when the Konoha shinobi were looking at Code's claw marks outside of Konoha, Sasuke allowed the Chunin at the site to talk to him crazy and deferred to said Chunin when he said, "I have no authority here," and he let him call him by his last name, Uchiha, in an aggressive manner because, again, not everyone has forgiven Sasuke. Going back to Naruto chapter 699, Kakashi tells Sasuke that if he ever manages to put a toe out of line ever again, that it will be Kakashi who gets in trouble for his actions. And in the Sakura Hiden story, Love Riding the Spring Breeze, set 2 years after that moment, we see what happens when a rogue Anbu mimics Sasuke's chakra signature and its appearance and uses science to make a fake Sharingan to frame Sasuke in the deaths of terrorists who believed in Madara's vision of the infinite Tsukiyomi of a world without winners and losers, and proceeded to frame Sasuke for planning an uprising with more of those terrorists who shared those views in a plot to take down the Kage of the 5 nations, purposely making sure that Gaara was there to see him so that at least one of the Kage would be involved. And had it not been for Kakashi and Sakura proving Sasuke's innocence, there would have been an execution squad put together by the 5 nations to kill Sasuke, which I've covered in another video called Sasuke's Rebellion After the 4th Ninja War, based off of Kakashi's words in chapter 699 and how Kakashi was being held accountable for Sasuke's perceived actions in the Sakura Hiden story, but at least being given the opportunity to make things right by proving Sasuke's innocence, we can infer that this is why Kakashi was not chosen as Hokage. Burying Sasuke was literally one of the first 3 acts he made as Hokage. His judgment will now be called into question, not just because you got Shikamaru there, but also by the feudal lord and most importantly by the other Kage, because the train of thought will be, had Sasuke been kept in prison like they all agreed upon, only to be allowed to be released if a threat level of Kaguya ever never appeared again, they wouldn't have been in the situation. In their eyes, Naruto's killer would not be out on the run right now. Boruto, the boy everyone thinks killed Naruto and Hinata, he'd be dead. Kakashi couldn't come back into the Hokage position, and due to Sakura being the wife of the man who assisted in the Hokage killer escaping, Sakura couldn't be Hokage for that reason. It's bad optics and it's fruit of the same poisonous tree. Even more so when you consider that Sakura was also Sasuke's teammate and Kakashi was also Sasuke's teacher. Their judgment when it comes to Sasuke would be called into question. There are other problems that come with this as well. Kakashi, by this one perceived action made by Sasuke, has now had his entire Hokage legacy destroyed. All the work he did following the 4th Ninja War to make a strong alliance and make sure that the alliance from the 4th Ninja War stayed strong, working with the Kage from the war to groom the next generation of replacements by creating the Shinobi Union to allow Kage candidates from each village the opportunity to go over mission reports, to create a team from rosters of all 5 villages and work alongside smaller villages where attempts to bring the Hidden Rain village and the Hidden Grass village into the Union. They failed when Kakashi tried it, but attempts to bring in the Land of Iron into the Shinobi Union were successful. The Boruto era Kages that you see now and some of their advisors were the very ones who served in this union itself. An idea Kakashi brought forward after the 4th Ninja War is something that's a huge part of his legacy. Had it not been for Kakashi, those Kage in Boruto right now might not have been fully prepared. All the tech advancements that we see in Boruto, a large chunk of that stuff actually started under Kakashi, including building the large city on top of the Hokage monument as the village was rebuilding after the war, because previously there had only been a few buildings up there on top of the Hokage monument, but under Kakashi the entire central business district was made on top of the Hokage monument, and we had luxury apartments built as well. Kakashi was the one who got the Hidden Leaf village to be viewed as being the capital of the Land of Fire. Instead of the Hokage traveling to meet the feudal lord, it's now the other way around, and it's all because of Kakashi's navigation through politics. Due to Kakashi's era's Hokage not being animated, you probably are unaware of a lot of this stuff, which is why you should watch the video I did, The Untold Truth About Kakashi's Reign as 6th Hokage. All of that right now is absolutely tarnished because the man he pardoned and claimed responsibility for if anything got out of hand with that said person, he's killed his replacement. Naruto was more than a Hokage. He was a symbol. Naruto was the one who turned the tide in battle during the 4th Ninja War. He was one of the few who could stand up to Madara and Obito and later stand up against Kaguya. He was the one a few years later who ended up stopping Tsunade from destroying the earth with his Tensegon. He was the one who did the heavy lifting to defeat Momoshiki and Kinshiki when they arrived on the planet with the plans to harvest a chakra fruit. Whereas the other Kage were one-shotted by fused Momoshiki, Naruto with only half of his chakra was dominating Momoshiki. It was Naruto who did nearly all the heavy lifting to kill Ishiki. While Naruto himself didn't get the kill because Kawaki technically finished him off, without Naruto sacrificing Kurama, Ishiki wouldn't have been defeated. Naruto was a sign of hope and a major inspiration for entire generation. With Naruto's perceived death, it isn't just the death of a Hokage, it's the loss of hope itself. And we learn in the Shikamaru Shinden novel that the Tsuchikage of the current era flat out said that while she respects Sasuke's power, it unnerves her that someone as strong as Sasuke, who has the power to easily destroy an entire country if he wanted to, due to his past actions, if he ever had a whim to turn on the Shinobi villages, there's nobody who could ever stop him outside of Naruto, and that troubled her. Naruto in the Naruto Retsuden story flat out states that he's worried about what the ninja world will look like if he were to die suddenly, worrying that while he's the glue that holds the peace between the nations together, which is something that the Shikamaru Shinden story that's set in the Boruto era talks about, that Naruto and Sasuke being so strong basically kills any disagreement that the other ninja villages might have had with the peace treaty that so heavily favors Konoha, despite the fact that when you look at it objectively, whose ninja village had the most shinobi at the center of the war? Sasuke started the war on the side of the Akatsuki. Kabuto was a former Konoha shinobi and responsible for the Edo Tensei as well as powering up the Zetsu army. Obito was a former Konoha shinobi. The deceased Sarada Uchiha was a former shinobi as well. Those were things that were not missed by others. But when you have Naruto and Sasuke, the two people who can casually blow up the continent, you don't exactly have any leverage when it comes to negotiation. Naruto is well aware of that, and it's for that reason that Naruto worried even if the Kage that he befriended respect his wishes if Naruto were to suddenly die, or if any of them get replaced as Kage and they have successors, that they would respect the wishes of the treaty that was been put intact. The feudal lords who fund each ninja village might choose a war economy once Naruto is dead and plunge the entire continent back into open warfare because war makes money. Due to Kakashi's decision, hope is now gone. Whether for right or for wrong, Kakashi is the one who's going to be blamed for the situation that's at hand right now. Kakashi won't ever be able to be Hokage again, and he's gotten his Hokage legacy tanked because of this one action. It won't ever recover until Boruto's proven innocent, which by extension proves Sasuke innocent as well. However, I'm curious to know how you guys feel about Kakashi not being Hokage. Was making Shikamaru the Hokage the right choice? While you think that over, click here to watch these other Naruto Explained videos.